Hello, rejects. I'm Greg. You are
Shalina,
friend of Greg and the real rejects.
Yeah.
She is here today. Shalina, correct me if I'm wrong. You are currently in a relationship.
Yes, I am. I'm very much in love.
One of my favorite channels is Top 5 Unknowns. Mm-hmm. They do these awesome list videos. This one is from last year, February 15th, 2015. Okay. It's called 5 Creepy Valentine's Day Horror Stories by Creepypasta. I just wanted to, make sure you were familiar with Valentine's Day, remind you are in love, and remind you that terrible things can happen on the day of love.
No, I don't like this already. Okay, I'm ready.
Already.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Love is exciting, but can take its toll. It produces such powerful emotions, enough to trigger a human to meet their darkest side.
Ain't that the goddamn truth?
Never knew they even had. Its effect could potentially cause a person to carry out dangerous psychotic actions, all in the name of love. The following are 5 creepy Valentine's Day stories. Make sure to stay for the last one.
Oh, great.
Number 5.
I'm
your
excited.
wedding is supposed to be the best moment of your life. This is a short story that happened in Stowe, Vermont. A woman named Emily was left at her altar for a groom who never showed up.
Damn shame.
Confused as to why he didn't show up, she left the church crying and took a carriage. When she arrived at the bridge, something scared her horse away, causing her life in the ensuing accident.
Aww.
Some people have seen the ghost and say that she looks very angry, and many believe that she's still hunting for her would-be groom.
Aww.
Number 4.
That
Poor
poor
thing.
lady.
That would be so sad.
Those are like the saddest urban legends whenever like someone is looking for like, oh, my child, or you know, my love.
She's looking for her lover and she just died.
Oh, that's so sad.
Stuck here.
And she never found out what happened to her man.
Maybe she did and she terrorized him as a ghost.
Maybe he was just pulling a prank. Like
maybe he was gonna just like run out from a tree and be like,
yeah.
surprise!
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that was the thing that scared the horse that caused her to fall off.
Exactly.
It was like, I was just fucking with you. And now she's gone. That's why you gotta be careful of the pranks you pull.
Yeah, be responsible.
Yeah, especially in Vermont. They are a frightened bunch.
Yeah, and it's icy and cold over there, so
exactly.
It makes sense. Is this a real story? This is real. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Paris, the city of love. You're probably expecting a romantic story with a happy
Not anymore.
And hear me out. A couple decided to go to Paris. One wanted to end a relationship.
What? Why would you go to Paris to end the relationship?
I
Man
know.
surprised her with a dinner up the Eiffel Tower. How romantic, right? Well, it took a turn for the worse when she declined his proposal and wanted to end the relationship. He threatened to kill her if she had left him. The woman still declined the proposal, and with a shock of surprise, the madman pushed her off the tower. On this very day, some citizens of Paris report sighting a ghost of a young woman and hearing screams from the tower at night. Number 3.
I think you should go to Paris.
Yeah, now that just seems like the most romantic place to go.
I just feel like, Paris would be, and you should go to the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Wow, that's some messed up stuff right there. He just pushed her off. Like, imagine.
Yeah. He ruined Paris. He ruined Paris for everyone.
Now it's haunted. They ruined it for everyone.
They ruined it for everyone. That's got to be the worst form of rejection. To propose, I want to spend the rest of my life
and
with
like
you.
being just so like amped up and like ready to go for like a long time. As soon as you made that decision, like this is the one.
But the way the story tells it, it's like it's making her out to be like, oh, it's kind of fucked up. Like, oh, you shouldn't. Like, due to the fact that you just want to leave him. But let's look at this for a second. Let's look at this for a second.
Okay, let's.
All right. This guy killed her for saying no. He clearly must have been some kind of abusive asshole that she was like, I gotta get out of this shit.
Yeah.
Maybe she was like, if I don't go to Paris, he'll hurt me, so I should go.
Yeah.
And that was her moment, because now she got challenged that moment to, will you marry me? I can't spend my life with you because you're dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. I think that if he had just gone, maybe got some therapy and like some deep-rooted shit that he had went through in his life, maybe she'd want to be with him.
Or she deserved it.
You're messed up. It's Oh, Greg.
Sorry. Let's move on to number 3.
All right, number 3.
Remember, you're in love right now?
Loving someone who love another can be difficult to watch.
No!
The story's setting takes place in Castillo de San Marco, a fortress built during the 1600s. A young, beautiful Spanish woman named Dolores was forced into an arranged marriage. She was to be the young wife of the fortress commander, Colonel Garcia Marti. She wasn't too fond of him. He didn't pay any attention to her and had dry humor. However, she found the colonel's assistant, Captain Manuel Abella, to be more appealing to her taste.
Yeah, he looks a lot
the
more
captain
attractive.
and Dolores would sometimes sneak off and spend the night away.
Nice.
Dolores had a strong perfume aroma that would rob on Captain Abella, of which the colonel began to notice. Suddenly, Dolores and the captain went missing. The colonel made up a story about their disappearance by telling soldiers and friends that Dolores moved back to her hometown in Spain and that the captain was reassigned to Cuba. After 50 years, the truth came out about their sudden disappearance. When the Americans took over the fortress, a soldier had discovered that one of the dungeon's bricks were out of place. Upon the removal of the brick, a hidden room was revealed. Inside the hidden room, there were ashes that were found and the remains of 2 skeletal bodies chained to a wall.
Aww.
Since then, or even today, people have reported the touch of cold spot, the smell of strong perfume, and floating orbs. Number 2.
Wow.
He chained them and let them starve to death.
At least he did it so they could be together. At least they died together. They looked really happy, like, together at least, while they were skeletons.
She was cheating on him.
Well, she didn't love him because he didn't even pay any attention to her.
And what, she didn't like his dry humor?
Well, that is another thing.
Yeah.
Added
she
to
sounds
it.
conceited.
Well, no. He just didn't seem like the right guy for her. And this other guy maybe was better.
Clearly off looks. She was clearly a shallow human being.
Well, they were meant to be together, and they died together.
Honestly, if I loved a woman,
yeah,
and I found out she was having an affair with another man, I probably wouldn't kill her. I might be tempted to kill him.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. I would probably do that. It's a brilliant idea. Find
dungeon?
like something where you can just put a wall up so they can't hear them on the other side, but they're chained and then they starve to death.
Basement?
Yeah, something like that, you know?
You're so creepy. Thank God there's no basement here. Or is there? Okay, let's do this. Two more.
Don't worry, they don't get as bad as they keep going.
I think that's not true.
In the 1800s was an American shop owner who had just moved to San Augustine, Florida. He barely knew anybody in town but worked very hard long hours by himself. One night he took a break and decided to take a walk along the seawall.
No.
A thick fog randomly appeared, making it difficult for himself to see, but his ears could sense the sound of a woman singing. The singing sound seemed to be approaching him closer and closer, until a beautiful woman suddenly appeared to his eyes. The shop owner was startled by her beauty and asked her if she was okay. She stopped singing and slowly looked at him and replied, "I am lost. I'm trying to find my way home." The shop owner offered his help, but she kept refusing. Her face expression quickly switched to a saddened smile. She walked away and disappeared into the mist of the fog. The next night, the shop owner walked in the same path, but he didn't find her. He repeated the same rhythm every night, hoping to see the woman again, but there was no sign of her. Until one night, the same fog dropped again. The same woman reappeared. They spoke the night away. During the conversation, the woman told them that she found her way home. The shop owner insisted on coming with her. She replied by saying to come meet her tomorrow night. He agreed to meet her, and the fog had lifted. That day was the last day that the shop owner was seen. Today, it is said that whenever a thick fog appears in town, a low-pitched faint singing could be heard across the Sea of San Augustine. Number 1.
So, you never know. Sometimes you might fall in love with a ghost.
You have to be careful these days.
Fall in love with a ghost, you never know.
You gotta be careful.
They could be emotionally damaging to you.
Yeah.
They could have some type of STD. Or they could be dead already.
Could be Tindering someone and thinking they're beautiful and like the woman of your dreams, and then you meet up with her and she's a ghost.
She's a ghost. She's dead.
She's gone.
She can't have
She's
your
haunting
babies.
your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then you'll disappear too. Can't be too careful.
No, I don't agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I do agree with that. It's our very insightful commentary on this particular story.
Yes.
For a man to like fall in love, I mean, it sounds like he fell in love with her.
Why'd she have to be? Well, we don't know. Like, she might have taken him away to like this magical place. We don't know.
Yeah.
Or she could have took his soul.
Anal probed him.
Or that.
With that.
We'll never know.
This story is about a boy who is deeply in love with a girl in his class. In this case, we're going to call the boy George. His affection for her was so deep that he would do anything for her. He admired her beauty, but with it came jealousy.
Understandable.
He describes her as a girl who every guy wished to be with.
That's hard.
One day, the girl of his dream was getting yelled at and pushed against a brick wall at school by a boy named James. James was the type of person that would easily get angry and could definitely not be taken lightly. Even though his heart burned in anger, all George could do was stand there and watch.
Damn.
After the painful event had occurred, George would watch her walking home by herself, whom James and his girlfriend Taylor would follow, insulting and hitting the poor girl. That angered George even more, but still, he couldn't physically do anything against James. Instead, he found a way to make it up for her by seeking revenge.
Cool.
He made his way to the fish store.
Oh no.
He bought himself 30 fish hooks. His mother worked night shifts at a local bar, and his father was never home. This made it perfect for him to sneak out of the house.
Cool.
He managed to get inside James' house and snuck into his room while he was asleep. A big snorer James was, made his mouth vulnerable for anything.
No!
George slowly dropped 5 of the 30 fish hooks he had purchased into James' mouth. He began coughing as the hook scraped against the walls of his throat. He added 10 more to the 5s. It pierced through James' neck from the inside. James attempted to scream, but he couldn't, and began to choke from his own blood. George would continuously add hooks after hooks, and finally pulled out the last 10 hooks and dropped it into George's mouth. He attempted to scream one last time, but gargle noises was all that came out. Finally, James died from choking on his own blood, and from the gashing injuries coming out of his throat. The next day, James returned to school, only to see Taylor throwing rocks at the poor girl. That's when he knew that Taylor would become his next victim. Later that day, George walked to a local lake. He brought a bucket with him and filled it with over 80 leeches in water.
Oh, he is creative.
George phoned Taylor as he watched her right from outside her house. As Taylor walked towards the phone, he made his way inside of her house and went to the bathroom, where she had a bubble bath awaiting her.
What high school girl takes
he brought the bucket of leeches and dumped it into her bubble bath and left the bathroom to hide to another room. When she came back, she unknowingly plunged herself into the bathtub. Minutes have passed. George slowly walked back into the bathroom, only to see that Taylor's eyes glazed with death and skin pale from blood loss. Let's say that you were attached to a special someone. Would you do anything beyond the norm to keep that person happy? Comment.
Sorry guys, car got full. Hey, whoever George is, I think he likes to fish.
I think that
he likes to get his prey. The hooks, the leeches. Oh, you use fish worms when you fish.
Yeah, I get it.
You get what I'm going.
I get where you're going.
You got where I was
that.
driving that point, right?
I got you. No.
Okay. I thought this would be kind of a cool movie. Come on,
I can
like
see
a
that.
high schooler boy who's like in love with the girl, but he knows he's not physically strong enough to defend her.
Yeah, he just gets back in like whatever ways he can, in sick, disgusting ways.
Cause I didn't. Yeah, like he was very creative about that. Yeah. Oh, I just kept imagining that. The fish hooks.
The fish hooks.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Although if I did go in a bath, like I would probably figure out there was leeches in there like pretty quickly.
Whatever
and I would be scared.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be so terrified though. But I would be out of the bath immediately.
I mean, he just loved this girl. I wonder if he ended up with her in the end.
Yeah, I want to know more.
Did they get together?
Come on, what happened to him?
Would you have dated him? Let's say a couple, all right?
Yeah.
Put yourself in this scenario.
Okay.
A couple is taunting you constantly, physically hurting you, throwing rocks at you.
Yeah.
Bullying the shit out of you.
I was bullied, and I did get rocks thrown at me.
Did
as
you?
A child, yes, I did.
What if a boy named Jorge, Mexican kid, only Mexican kid in Connecticut, where'd you grow up? Yeah. Let's say you found out he killed those people for you to protect you, and all he wanted was to take you out on a date.
I would be terrified of him.
Really?
I took care of
I would think that's
business
romantic.
myself.
George is the man.
I agree to disagree.
Fine. Well, what else could he have done? Teach them a lesson? Smack them around a little bit?
I don't know.
That would have just made them
like,
get
the
back up.
I don't know.
Told the principal.
Talked to the girl and told her like some ways that she could get help, or like maybe, I don't know.
Here's some fish hooks.
Stand up to them. I don't know. I stood up to the bullies. You're not nice.
Oh.
Stop being
Sorry.
mean. It shaped me to be the person that I am today.
I just think that'd be a great like high school movie, you know?
Yeah, I watch it.
Because bullying's a real thing, and bullying upsets me. You
does.
saw a documentary, Bully?
No.
Well, you don't need you don't need to see the documentary.
I feel bad. Like, I'm just terrified for the children of today.
We need more Georges out there.
No.
Yeah, you can't solve bullying by bullying back.
Exactly.
That's why you just gotta eliminate them. It's over.
Murder all of them. Oh my goodness.
Subscribe to Top 5 Unknowns. I'm Greg. Welcome to The Real Rejects. Totally all movie content here.
Yes.
Shalina. Oh yeah, subscribe. Shalina is on Instagram and Snapchat at lightcoachchill. All horror themed topics. No, it's all positive and love. She's a very kind-hearted person, and I feel bad because she hasn't been on this channel in many, many, many months.
And you saved these videos for me to
want,
react
yeah,
to.
Exactly. I saved these. Right for the day she
The
returns.
Naruto one was the only one that...
Take care, Trump's
great.
America.
What?
I said take care, Trump's America. You voted Trump, right?
Oh.
You totally seem like the kind of person who would.
Where? This totally just went somewhere else.
I find that political discussions on the internet tend to be the most mature.
This is how you end your videos now?
This is how I end my videos. It's just the most mature, and people are listening to each other on the internet, and no one attacks. I find it to be a very zen environment when you bring up politics.